Here in the Wabash Valley, agriculture is big business, or is it becoming more of a bust for local farmers? Tonight, in a special report, Patrice Dayton takes a closer look at a tragic trend on the local farm.
George Washington once said, agriculture is the most useful and noble employment of man, and yet it's become one of the most difficult professions financially and mentally. There's a silent crisis creeping across farm fields all over America, and the Wabash Valley is not immune.
Come on, girl.
46-year-old Andrew Baylor of Terre Haute is living his dream. Baylor set his sights on farming as a career as early as high school. A first-generation farmer, he works around 1,400 acres in eastern Vigo County. Corn, soybeans, hay, and feed cattle.
I knew from my first ride on a combine with somebody that was what I was doing the rest of my life, whatever it took.
Unfortunately, it's taking more and more these days just to stay afloat. Across the country, many farmers are in the red this year. Major crops, including corn and soybeans, have not been profitable for the last several years.
We're selling the crop for less than what it's costing us to plant it.
While commodities are down, input costs for local farmers are up. Everything a farmer needs to grow his goods is rising. Fertilizer and seed.
When I started farming, a bag of seed corn was $70, and some of it's $300 now. And you're planting the same amount of acres.
Health insurance is up, farm insurance too, and fuel costs to keep Baylor's tractors and semi running are astronomical.
I remember getting a fuel bill and it was $500. And I said, now you get the fuel bill and it's $6,000. It doesn't do any good when they're broke down.
To help with the equipment costs, Baylor fixes most of his stuff himself. He says updating a piece of equipment has become a wish list instead of a must-do.
It's a challenge. It's you come in and scratch your head at night trying to think of how are we going to do this.
During this off-season, Baylor spends lots of time at this kitchen table pushing his pencil to make the math work. He says his farm will survive this year, but several of his colleagues may not be so lucky. And Baylor says that year-to-year concern can be stressful. He's now on blood pressure medicine, partly because of the strain, but it's the mental toll that can take over.
It puts a weight on your shoulders. A lot of farmer friends, you can kind of tell it's weight on them.
And it's a lonely world to be a farmer.
Christina Christ is the CEO of Team of Mercy, a nonprofit that helps families dealing with suicide. She says farmers ending their lives has been a problem for generations, but this year it's been especially hard for several reasons. New tariffs are hurting farmers on the purchasing end of things they need. China stopped buying U.S. soybeans in the spring, the largest U.S. export crop. And for multi-generational farmers especially, keeping the legacy of the family farm alive is getting more and more risky. Mental health concerns on Wabash Valley farms rise when crop sales drop. And Chris says more people need to be aware.
This is a farming community. Why have we not been talking about that? We are surrounded by farmers. You and I may not be able to see the farmers every day. Why? Because they're out working.
My big thing is sometimes I have to tell myself, just take a breath. Just stop and take a breath.
Andrew Baylor says he will continue to keep faith in his profession. In fact, a framed print of the farmer's prayer watches over his little farmhouse, a reminder to ask for strength and wisdom. Baylor says he'll continue working his childhood dream for as long as he can. The National Rural Health Association says as of April 2023, the suicide rate within the farming community exceeds that of the general population by 3.5 times. And the national farming debt is at an all-time high, a huge concern growing across the heartland. With photojournalist Josh Lum, I'm Patrice Dayton.
And if you're a farmer in Vigo, Vermilion, or Park counties, we want to make you aware of a special event. The Soil and Water Conservation Districts are putting on a Navigating Financial and Personal Health Summit. It's this Wednesday, December 10th. The event will provide resources to help navigate the changing climate within the ag community. It's at the Vigo County History Center from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. More details are available on our website, mywabashvalley.com.